This here's an example of our Tron manifest we recently started using. If you notice at the top left-hand side, that is the generator information. If you're a pressure washer, then this information, you will fill out this form exactly how this is filled out. In the middle, that asks for the type of waste removed. You'll go ahead and bubble in pressure washer and how the amount in gallons. You'll go ahead and put the generator information, which is yourself, because you're the one generating the wastewater. In the middle is the transporter section. You have your City of Houston permit number, you'll bubble in, your truck number, and the amount of waste that was removed. You'll go ahead and put your transporter name and address over there to the right. And at the very bottom right-hand corner is your disposal site information. When you take your waste to your Type 5 disposal site, you'll go ahead and fill out that information, stamp it, sign it, date it, and that information there certifies that you did dispose of your waste properly. Another thing we want to touch on is illegal car washing. The Uniform Plumbing Code requires plumbing fixtures such as grit traps and bays in order for you to have a legal car wash. Sometimes you see individuals washing cars around the city at a Burger King or whatever the case may be. Those are considered illegal, and if we would like that you report that information to us. They don't have the proper plumbing fixtures. Go ahead and take care of that wastewater that is running. And keep in mind, our department does not permit mobile car wash. And this here is just photos of bays. Whenever you drive into a car wash, you'll see the grid in the middle, that's the bay. And go ahead and it's the access point, and initial separation of solids is where it drains into the grit trap. All of these items are important to have the bays and grits go ahead and prevent any type of impurities from going into the form. This here is a picture of a grit trap. These are located at car washes as well. And it's a device designed to use different specific gravities to separate and retain solids. And we have photos of different illegal car washes. Like I said, you see them around town all the time, set up, washing cars. And the reason why it's a problem, like I said, they don't have the proper plumbing fixtures. The wastewater is running down the street, and as you can see, it's running to the storm drain, which is a big no-no. In the event there's any type of environmental investigator out in that location, they will contact you, come out, see what's going on, and citations can be issued. And about the fine amounts, there's a zero tolerance with MS4 violation. It's a no tolerance approach, and your violations can range from $250 to $2,000 per violation that is issued. And that basically concludes this brief summary of the pressure washing transporters. Did anyone have any questions or anything? No? Yes.
One question. What do you hear about the teenage school groups that have car washes on Saturdays?
Well, those are usually those nonprofit. 9 times out of 10, they'll contact their office. We have a form. We have to fill it out. Just have a contact name, number, when they plan on holding their car wash. So we'll have that in our system in the event there's any complaints called in the area. A lot of times citizens will call in, oh, we see so-and-so washing cars. They don't have the proper plumbing fixtures. But if we have that paperwork on file, we'll know, okay, this is so-and-so's baseball team, and we'll go on from there. Okay? Yes.
You have 3 different departments and at least 2 different codes to enforce it. So if somebody dies 311, this is all property discharge. The wastewater, what department does it go to? Is it priority set up?
I'm not sure how 311 sends them out, but usually if one group gets it, okay, well, let's check with the health department. Are they aware of in the event you're cleaning it, an individual comes down, they might, down the road, a citizen, they might say, oh, well, they're dumping into the storm. It's best to go ahead and notify us so we can get someone out there to verify what's going on with that situation. Okay?
Charitable car wash, I'm just curious if you can really get specific regarding, you saying that it's a charitable situation and then they contact you and so forth, does that give them be okay at what they do?
Well, if it's non-profit, we verify if it's a non-profit type of situation. If it's an individual that's pocketing the money, then that would be a problem. If we verify that it's a non-profit baseball team, church, so on and so forth, then, you know, that's okay.
So it's okay for the nonprofit to discharge in one of those environments as far as car wash?
From what I heard, yes.
It's something we're trying to make money from.
We're verifying if it's non-profit. If it's non-profit, we say that's okay. In the event they're doing it every week and we figure, okay, what's going on, and it looks like a questionable circumstance, then the investigator will go out to that location and verify what's going on, how often are you doing this. Is this for a non-profit organization or is it for profit? Alrighty, and that concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time.
Okay. To clarify a couple things, just to make, and again, I apologize, this has gotten out of order, so some of this may confuse you in the very beginning, until we get the other things caught up. City of Houston itself is under a stormwater discharge permit issued by the state of Texas. It's called the TPDES permit. And part of what they do is they have to evaluate and they have to meet parameters, chemicals and discharges at the end of our city pipe, wherever it goes into a bayou. Okay? So that's one of the things, one of the reasons that there's so heavy enforcement on the MS4, the sewer system type things, because the city itself, if it violates that permit, we're wasting your tax dollars to pay the fine, because the city will be fined. So that's part of the issue. Hang on, I want to clarify one thing with my comment. Okay, in answer, I just want to verify something because, again, I don't work with the stormwater side of this stuff. In our permits that we have, the NPDES permit, the city has the right to invoke certain exemptions. Nonprofits, whoever brought that issue up, nonprofit car washes have been deemed by the city through their analytical testing and so forth not to be a major pollution issue because they're held so infrequently that the city has deemed them, basically taken the risk to say that they are going to give them an exemption as long as they notify the city that they're doing it in advance. They're giving them an exemption so that we can have our kids raise their money for their basketball teams and so forth and so on. And that it would not cause the city to exceed their permit, their TPDES permit into the pipe. Okay? So it's not a matter of it's selective enforcement. It's a matter of they've been granted through the city based on the permit that's issued to have an exemption for those type of activities as long as they notify the city that they're doing them so the city can be prepared. Okay? Yes, sir?
The entire city is also exempt, am I correct?
The city, what do you mean the entire city is exempt?
Well, just give you an example, the recycling center here that's around the corner.
Okay.
Last time we left here, we were watching the D6 cat right out on the ramp, right down onto, right out into the storm sewer. I mean, isn't the city also exempt?
No. You will have somebody check that on the way out here, won't you? We will check that. I will tell
What are
you,
you talking about?
where's it at exactly? You're not going to Main.
It's close, it's like right when you exit through the recycling center.
I think we actually,
Which
city, we, as the environmental crimes unit, have filed on the city several times, and city employees. And that's what we were talking to some of the smaller cities that are here today. They're trying to get the same information because they're having problems with their own folks. And when you have a monstrosity the size of the city of Houston, and the amount of employees that we've had, we do the same thing for them. We do this educational training for different departments, trying to get them to understand what's going on. And we still get the occasional employee that does it his own way, he's in a hurry, doesn't want to work late, doesn't want to work the overtime, whatever, and takes the shortcut. Well, he winds up on the other end of the bar, just like anybody else. So it definitely has happened. Yes, sir.
Say, waste oil, and you're talking about people that haul it, that's when I want to know about the people that come to the pumps, waste oil.
Okay.
Say you need somebody to pick up the phone for the call, it's not, they come out, and they're not, have the right permit, who is responsible for that? If the owner of that company wants to know whether they have the right permit or what.
Okay. If he calls a third-party hauler, basically, the question was, if he does not have the appropriate permits, who is responsible? The technical answer to that would be both of you. However, if you're hiring somebody, a legitimate company, and you did it thinking you were doing the right thing, we can't find any malice on your part, you pay them a reasonable amount for what it would normally cost to haul that kind of material away, then you would have no expectation to think that they are not a legitimate hauler or a legitimately licensed hauler. In our question, and we'll have the DA here later, you can pose this to him as well, but in our investigation, we would be much better to us as a witness than a defendant. You agree? Because you can witness, I hired them with their phone book, called them up, told them where I was at, said I needed this hauled away. They said they could do it. They came over here, they got it, and left. Okay? We would want you as a witness. We don't see any malice on your part. You would not be charged in that case. Okay? Any other questions? How many need a break? The coffee break, let the coffee out. Everybody's good to go? All right, then we'll go right into the next speaker. And you're doing good. You're good? Okay. Little change. We have Doreen Hancock. Doreen is in charge of the stormwater enforcement group for the city of Houston. So she deals with the MS4 violations.